There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name. And in this video, we're going to talk about government contracts, but more specifically, why did you create the course and what is inside of your government contracting course?
Okay, so my course, GovCon for Winners, teaches you how to be a 3-tier contractor, and that is operating at the federal level, the local level, and corporate level. So a lot of people don't know the difference when they say government contract, and they don't know that there's 3 tiers essentially. So when you hear about set-asides, like I'm a woman-owned, I'm a veteran-owned, that's usually related to federal. When you're talking about I want to work for the state, work for municipalities, school system, that's local. And if you ever heard supply diversity and you heard of the MBE and the DBE set-aside certifications, talking about corporate contracting where you work for AT&T and Boeing and T-Mobile providing services.
Gotcha. So basically, you want all the money, all right? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Why not?
It sounds like you want all the money because I hear people say, I only do federal, I only do state and local, I only do, corporate. And so you're saying 3 tier, you're saying I'm going to cover all 3 tiers.
The reason why that's important is because I stated in another video that you might go months without winning a federal contract. And if you don't have the relationships for whatever reason, you might be in a rural area, you don't have the ability to go out and network with the people at the local level. And then corporate is not as easy as the other two because they're not held under any type of regulation. So the money's bigger, but the relationships are much tighter. So why limit yourself when you can just go after all 3?
Yeah, and so I'm very much so a networking kind of person.
Yeah.
Like I know how to get,
and that's not for everyone.
It's not.
You're a closer.
I don't know if that's what the term would be for me, but
it's like to know me is to love me type thing. Where it's like if I meet you and talk to you, chances are you'll do business with me. But some people, are, the introverts like me, it's hard for us to come from behind the computer and go out and close a deal.
See, I know I have an abundance mindset. Like everything that I see money. Right?
Okay,
like,
true.
I drive down the road and I look at the ground and I say, man, somebody made a lot of money selling
paving this joint, paving it, striping it.
Everything that I see, I'm like, man, it's money everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like, in everything. And so it's definitely beneficial coming from I'm coming from the street. So like it's beneficial knowing like, oh, I can just go talk to somebody, How do I do this?
Okay, that makes sense.
And so, you start telling me about the state and local because all I ever really heard about was like the federal contracts, right? It's all everybody really ever talks about in this space. And so started learning like the local level stuff. And then when that local level contract came through, I was like, they got that kind of money?
And that's another.
In your local county?
And that's a misconception.
I didn't know they had that.
That's a misconception because especially like some of the local agencies, they have grants. So a lot of their contracts that they're giving to you are coming from grant money that was given to them.
Gotcha. So then I just got online and started like looking up local procurement, who handles contracting. And so calling them and say, hey man, I got a business.
That's a strategy.
I'm trying to see what's up. And
that's
they was like, oh yeah, well this is where you need to go. And I'm like, oh, y'all helping me? Y'all gonna help me get this? Oh, it's gonna be a problem.
And that's really what you don't have to bid. Like you can go out there and network and get contracts, whether it's a sub, whether it's just networking with the agencies, whether it's going to sometimes they have events as well. So throughout the course, I teach you like real world examples, things that I've done, things that I know people have done to get contracts, whether it was the networking piece or just being in the right place at the right time.
And I know you got to run out, so I just want to ask. Okay, so what? You have the
3-tier.
Not just that 3-tier thing, but like
the veteran stuff.
Like what's going inside? Like you're teaching set-asides? Are you teaching what RFI is, and are you like what is all going inside of like the course exactly?
All the above. So even what's important as well is like when you're first starting your business is knowing what name you should have, I changed my name personally, like through this whole process, even when I already had contracts, and that was extremely hard. So people that are just starting out and don't have a business name, or they have a separate business and they want to do government contracting with a new business, I teach you like what's a corporate sounding name. You don't want to have the agency against you based off of your name. You know, and you'll never know that that's why they got rid of you. They're like, oh, no, we don't want to award you the contract. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I wonder what I did wrong. And they just, your name was trash. Or, oh, not trash. I shouldn't say that. It's not easy to understand.
It's a contract at an elementary school, and the name of your company is Twerk Incorporated.
I was about to say something more raunchy than that. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So you probably, I mean, they're going to have to say your name. They're going to have to post your name. Yeah. That's a really good point. If it's a school system, you want to try to have a corporate name. So I talk about
Buddha Shaking Anonymous, and it's not
at
LLC.
Gmail.
LLC.
You don't want to.
No, it might be good for a club, but
that's
not
corporate. So it's one of those things where you have to just kind of change your mindset on being a large business. Like your mindset should always be build to sell. So when I go through the whole process, I teach, how to set up everything from choosing a name all the way to my business is set up, ready to go. I'm getting ready to register in SAM. And then I talk about the whole federal process, using set-asides, why they're important, why they may not be as important as you think. And that small business is also a set-aside, being a small business. And some people think that small business is like, oh, I make less than $1 million. There's small business categories under certain NAICS that are 35 million or less, and you're still considered a small business. And that sounds crazy, but you can really operate at $20 million, still have the set-aside opportunity, and then be, a small business. And so then I talk about local, like how to best position yourself, whether they have internal certifications, like certain counties, like especially here in Atlanta, DeKalb County has their own certification process. So, and it's kind of mandatory, but then some others don't. So, should you even try to go after those counties if they don't, whether they care about minorities or women or whatever, or especially put funding set aside for that. And then I go into corporate, which is the supply diversity part, where you can get your MBE and your DBE, and that's more for corporate agencies who have an agenda to provide their diverse suppliers in their list of people who provide services and goods.
Gotcha. So
I talk a lot about, I do a lot of programs, and I'm very involved in the veteran community, of course, because I retired in February from the Army. And so
Congrats.
Thank you. Big accomplishment.
Because I didn't make it.
I didn't think I was going to make it. I got out twice. So so I understand. But a lot of veteran content, like specifically for veterans when it comes to government contracting and business stuff, and just like other things that veterans tend to have to deal with. Okay,
so that's all going to be in the GovCon course, GovCon for winners. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also, there's going to be a link for the course in the description below. So make sure y'all get in there, because it's going to be a little promo. You're going to get a little discount, getting it through the channel. All right? Anyway, right now you're watching Casino is the Name. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we are out. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that.
Beat me up, Scotty. Me and
her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really tried.
say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basic Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? There's money everywhere. There's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name.